let's bring area and perimeter together. Students often confuse these two ideas, so it is important to compare them directly. Let's suppose we have this shape made of 6 square tiles. Let's ask 2 questions. First, what is the area? The area is the number of square units inside the figure. Since this figure is made up of 6 square tiles, our area is 6 square units. And then our second question, what about the perimeter? What is the perimeter of this shape? Well, if I imagine walking along the outside, I would do 3, 1. Here's another 1 and another 1. So we have 2 more 1s. 3, 1. And then finally 2 more 1s. When we do that, we get 12 units. Now comes the interesting part. Can we add a square tile so that the perimeter does not change? And the answer is yes. If we attach a new square in a place where it shares enough sides with the existing figure, the outside boundary can rearrange without changing the total perimeter. We can do that by adding a square right here. Basically, I just took these 2 edges and I kind of made them pop out. Now, with that added piece, we have an area of 7 square units, but our perimeter remains the same. Next, can we add a square tile so the perimeter increases by 1? This is a great thinking question. Students may want to try different placements and test them, and you should encourage that. But the final answer is actually no. It is not possible to increase our perimeter by 1. Can we add a square tile so the perimeter increases by 2? That is another yes. If I add one right here, my area would once again be 7 square units, but my perimeter would now be 14 units. What about adding a square tile so that the perimeter increases by 3? Again, students can explore and test placements, but the conclusion is no. The key point is this. Increasing area does not always increase perimeter in the same way. And sometimes increasing area may increase perimeter by a lot, by a little, or even not at all. This is such an important idea because many students assume bigger area means bigger perimeter. But that is not always true. 2 shapes can have the same areas but different perimeters, as we see with these 2. The same perimeter but different areas, as we see with these 2. Or we could have an increase in area with only a small change in perimeter. This is why we need students to think conceptually, not just rely on intuition. Area and perimeter are related because they both describe shapes, but they measure different things. Perimeter measures the distance around, and area measures the space inside. And because they are measuring different things, they do not always change together. That's one of the most important takeaways from this whole lesson. If students can really understand that, they will avoid a very common and very persistent misconception. And honestly, this is a big idea even for adults. So if it takes time to feel natural, that is completely okay. You are building strong mathematical understanding step by step, and that matters.